have this opportunity to play with something like Google Glass, or the Oculus Rift, or the upcoming Apple Watch, which I'm not sure if you haven't had yet, but these things are coming, apparently. We're all going to be strapped into our chair, wearing these things on our faces, and remembering the house. So the next speaker is Joe Travis, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about what the wearable. Come on, Joe.
All right. So you are being videotaped right now, just so you know. Go ahead and start. So what in the wearable? I'm going to ask that question, and I'm going to try and answer it. Maybe you have answers too. We'll see. So the idea of wearable technology is that it's something that you can take with you. And we'll take a look at a quick definition of the word wearable. And it has the adjective noun form, but there's this denoting of relating to a computer or something that you can carry with you or wear. So there's this implied comfort suitable for wearing, and it's also something that can be worn. So the word wearable has a long history, turns out, but in the last 3 decades, it turns out that people started using it more, as in multiple orders of magnitude over the previous, say, 200 years. So it's a new thing. So in my mind, wearables consist of hardware, personal, that's interesting, software, an interaction mechanism, and for me, the interesting part is the environment where we can kind of augment ourselves with a wearable. So in that sense, a wearable to me is something that's personal, it's immediate, it provides a convenience, and it can connect you to other things around you, whereas sitting in your seat is kind of hard to walk around with your computing device. So it's not all about glass holes. This guy has problems. So the interesting thing about glass is that it's actually recently performed reasonably well in situations where it's accepted in workplace environments like medical and operating rooms. So to me, wearable is the concept that you can extend your technology and take it with you. So rather than sitting in a chair with Oculus Rift and looking out at a virtual world, you can take yourself into the real world and capture it virtually. So 2014 is supposed to be the year of the wearable. Turns out maybe not so much. We've got watches, we've got Fitbits, we've got glass, and there's some problems here. Power, interface, and access. So we're not quite there. This guy has 8 devices strapped to his body. I don't think that's really a good place to be. So I'd say that there's some work that needs to be done on the hardware and on the side that deals with how you capture information. So for me, it becomes a question of how you develop a context with all the wearable technology that you possess and are able to capture that and relay it out to others, and in addition, capture information from other people's wearables and make that part of your environment. Because as we walk through the world, we are in the environment. I'm not just talking about the weather, I'm talking about my person, my being, interacting with the people in this room right now, streaming video off my glass into my phone. So with that, when we start picking out things in the environment, we pull a bunch of other things with us. We could pull all the opinions of the people in this room if we all had the appropriate wearable at one time. So that could cause a lot of noise. So the idea is that there's a class of sensors that I like to segment into the ambient, the physical, and the logical. So the idea is that these sensors, these categories of sensors, would segment the information that comes to you. In the ambient sense, you carry around ambient sensors now with your smartphone. You have a GPS, you have an accelerometer, and those things are always capturing information. You can take a look at every place you've been on Google Maps just because you have a phone. The idea of the physical is that you have sensors that you can carry with you, like this one, that can capture things about where you are in time, temperature, barometric pressure, altitude, and so on and so forth. And those are also generating information that can produce what I call logical sensors, sensors that are out in the world, just a network API call away to pull in some data from some other source, and then thus be combined with my glass and things of that nature. So that allows us to build a lot of information that we have captured individually, and that's kind of a person in isolation. My concept is these sensors will allow you to express that view in your mind of the world and give context to others, what I can call in a communal consciousness, that will allow you to receive sensor information from other individuals and transmit and so on and so forth. And then the aggregate of that can be put together and you can form an opinion about something. So the idea is that we're on the cusp of a wearable renaissance where we could take all this information, filter it, capture it, and distribute it, and bring it to the people who care about it. And I'll leave you with this. The evolution will be wearable.
Wow. That was crazy.
I need a drink.